Welcome to Cooking in the Woods with Ezra. I'm your host, Ezra, and today we'll be cooking in the woods. Now if you'll look over here, we've got some lump charcoal started in our charcoal starter. That's what you do with charcoal starters, is start charcoal. Once that burns down a little bit more, we'll put it in with the rest of our charcoal. Because this is the charcoal starter, and with the charcoal starter, you mix with the charcoal to get the other charcoal getting started. That's why you have a charcoal starter. Now, over here, we have our cooking supplies. We've got pepper, salt, peppers. Don't get these two things confused. If you put peppers on your steak instead of pepper, you'll have a peppery steak, which is different from a peppery steak, which is spicy and peppery. Also, over here we have some granulated garlic. And over here, we have some asparagras. Now the asparagras we'll put on the grill. Well, not directly on the charcoal. Over here, we have a grill. And we'll put the asparagras on the grill like this, without the bag or the rubber bands. I don't know if you can see those rubber bands in there, but there are rubber bands in there. And also, we might grill these peppers. Not to be confused with pepper. We don't grill pepper. We put pepper on things that we grill, like steak, but we don't grill pepper. Here we've got some stuff to clean our dirty hands with. See how dirty my hand is? My other hand? That's because of all the charcoal over here. Now, I think it's about time for us to dump the charcoal started charcoal into the other charcoal. From here, you'll have a good view of what I'm doing. Now it's time to stir the charcoal with a stick. I choose this stick. It's a good stick. Nice and sturdy. Now, we stir. Stir the started charcoal into the not started charcoal. And hope that the started charcoal starts the non-started charcoal. Which it usually does. Now that's all the stirring we have to do for now. I'll see you in a bit. Now look at this table. It seems kind of messy, doesn't it? Not very tidy or neat. It's got all sorts of stuff. I think it's about time that we clean this bad boy up. So what I'm gonna do is move this cooler over to here. Yeah, it's not a very good view. Wow, that looks much better. Now we're gonna come over here and grab our charcoal stirring stick from its appropriate place and stir some charcoal. It's important to continue to stir your charcoal throughout the charcoal starting process, because you want all the charcoal to be burning and to burn off everything in it that isn't good to eat, because right now the smoke stinks pretty bad, and that's because it's burning off all the impurities. Once they're all burned off and out, then the smoke will smell much better and it will taste better on the food. But now I'm feeling a lot of heat here. Ooh, hot. So that's good. That means it's getting started, as it should. Now I'll put my charcoal stirring stick back, and you see we have a little place to put the food once it gets off the grill, because it is quite hot when it gets off the grill. We'll put it onto like a plate on top of this piece of wood here, and then because we'll put it there because it's good to rest it for a little bit. Once it's rested, we will move it to this cutting board here, where we'll cut it up and eat it. We have some cutlery, yeah, it's cutlery. We have some good cutlery here. This chair here is broken. I think I might be able to fix it. So yeah, there we go. Now it's much more comfortable to sit on. So that's nice. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I took the time to fix this chair, because it will give us a more comfortable experience in the future upon eating this delicious food. We also have some meat. I'm not sure what kind of meat it is. It's probably surprise meat. It was brought by a stranger that we don't know, and he said that he'd give it to us for free as long as we gave him some money, so that's good. It's that time again, folks. Time to stir the charcoal. It's putting off a whole lot of heat now. It's heating up. Things are heating up. It's hot. You see charcoal's starting to turn white, which means that it's cooking off. It's good. Everything's good. Just gotta stir everything up. We're good. I haven't mentioned this pound of butter that we have here. It's a pound of butter, and it weighs about 1 pound, and it's made of butter, and I think it weighs about 1 pound too. Oh, it's good. It contains 16 ounces of butter, so that's nice. So we'll be using this to put on our steaks. Right now it's really squishy. I don't really want to touch it, so I'll poke it with a stick. So yeah, you can see how squishy it is. And there's about, I think there's about 454 grams of butter here. So that's nice. We'll use these butters to butter our stuff, like our steaks and stuff. Like you can butter steaks and they taste yummy, you know, like good. We'll also put some garlic on our steak and some pepper, not to be confused with peppers. Peppers and pepper are a different thing. I don't know if you know that, but these are peppers and this is pepper. Pepper comes from ground black peppercorns, whereas pepper is a plant, a vegetable actually, maybe a fruit, not sure. Yummy. We'll also be putting some salt on them. We don't put any of this on because it doesn't taste very good. What? So we're going to season our steak along with the butter, also with some granulated garlic and some pepper. Not to be confused with peppers, which are a completely different thing. See, this is a pepper and this is pepper. This pepper comes from ground black peppercorns, whereas this pepper is a vegetable. It has seeds. You can see some seeds, and yeah, they're pretty good. You can eat them like this. That's yummy. But this is a little bit spicy, and it's used as a seasoning. We'll also season them with some salt from the Mediterranean Sea. It's called Mediterranean sea salt and comes from Mediterranean. Also, we will not be seasoning them with hand sanitizer because that doesn't taste very good. We might also season our asparagus with these 3 seasonings. Not this one. This one isn't a seasoning. We'll be using these 3 seasonings. Not these either. These are peppers. Alright, it's time to stir the charcoal one last time. Well, we'll be stirring it more than one more time. But it's getting there. See how much burnt down it is? It's getting pretty hot. A little bit too hot to stir or to get close to. My face hurts because of the heat. Just gotta, oh, my knuckle. I didn't touch anything. It's just really hot over here. So that's the dangerous thing about cooking with charcoal. It just gets really hot. You probably shouldn't touch the charcoal. I don't like touching it when it's hot because then it hurts. And physical pain isn't very nice, you know? So just touching it isn't really a good idea. So I don't do that. You can if you want to, but you probably shouldn't because it would hurt a little bit, you know? So that I'm just gonna stir it up. That looks good. Our butter over here is getting pretty soft and it's melting. I don't know if I mentioned that it's a pound of butter and it's butter, so that's cool. We'll be buttering stuff with this butter. Over here we have a water cooler, and on it is this little fly guy. He sticks around. He was scared of the camera. He doesn't like being on camera because he was kind of funny. He just flies away if you get a camera. You can dump the water out into a cup here and then drink it like this. And that's good. You know, I said it's not good to touch hot charcoal. Well, this charcoal right here, it's not hot. Watch this. I can touch it, but I'm not getting hurt. Isn't that cool? And this is called a briquette, and I don't think you're supposed to eat these. Somebody told me not to once. I'm not sure why. I don't know why you're not supposed to eat them, but I mean, it was good, but I don't eat them anymore. I guess it was a bad habit or something. When you're cooking in the woods, you need to make sure you have the proper tools to do it safely, cleanly, and sanitarily. So what we have here is some hand sanitizer, which sanitizes hands. We also brought our own cutting board, which will clean with the paper towels that we also brought. We'll clean the cutting board before we cut things with it. We need to make sure also that we clean up after ourselves, because if we don't, the animals from like the forest and the wild house and, you know, that car over there will come and eat the food that we've left behind. Oh, here are some tongs. Now, wild tongs are pretty good, but they're pretty stiff, so I don't prefer to use them, but we didn't bring tongs, so I'll just use these ones I found in the woods. It's also important that you don't leave other artifacts out here to scare the animals away, such as nastily smelling things, like this chair that I've sat in. It's not a very comfortable chair. I wish I had a different chair. Now you may be wondering if we're only going to eat peppers, as shown here, and asparagus. But this won't be the case because we're not birds. We're also going to be eating meat, which has come from the local meat market, which is somewhere. It didn't come from the forest, because that's not what we do here on Cooking in the Forest with Ezra. That's just preposterous. It came from the meat market, and it's good meat. It's probably like steak and chicken and stuff. I don't actually know. I didn't buy it. So apparently there was an issue with the meat. This was thought to be the meat. Unfortunately, it's the drinks and ice, as you can see here. You got some lime juice and some liquid ice here and some regular ice here. So the issue was that the person who was supposed to bring the meat, there was a miscommunication, and they thought that the meat was in the back of the vehicle, which I don't know how you can think that the cow's in the back of the truck when there isn't, but I'm not here to judge. That's okay. Whatever. The meat will be here soon, and that's okay because the charcoal's not quite ready yet. That's good. I'd like to say a word about the steaks that we're having tonight. They're going to be ribeye steaks, which aren't eyes, as you might think from the name. It says rib eye, but it's not an eye. Like, see that my eye there? It's ribeyes aren't eyes, but they do come from the rib area of a cow, which is like, you know, like right here, sort of, but on a cow. Like, I'm not a cow, I'm a human, but like ribeyes come from like right here. If I was a cow, like it's mostly comprised of the longissimus dorsi muscle, but also has some complexus of the complexus muscle on it too. So that's like sort of like right here, like this area, maybe up here. I'm not exactly sure because I've never seen a cow before. I heard they look pretty cool, but I don't know. So yeah. Well, we've got the steak here, and we've got 3 ribeyes, 1, 2, 3, and we've got 2 sirloins. Sirloins aren't lions, that are knights, in case you were wondering. They're just, you know, like you say sirloin, but it's just a sirloin, like sirloin, not sirlion. I know, it's confusing. Anyhow, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, that's how you count. We're gonna get these on the grill here. So
filming it and everything.
Yep.
It's our cooking show.
Yeah. Call it Cooking in the Woods with Ezra.
I like that.
All right.
And you got that chicken, right?
Yes. I'm not gonna. Maybe I should.
I think you should put it on the grill and heat it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm not sure when I should do that. Probably here soon. It's pretty cold. So now we have the steaks on the grill, and it's time to season them with some salt and obviously some pepper. Just gotta put the pepper on, because pepper makes it like a nice spicy. Oh wait, these aren't pepper. This is peppers. Crap. Did it again. Keep doing that. This is pepper. Now, here, we only want to put a little bit on. Now, I forgot to add the garlic, which I'm doing now. Garlic is good. Garlic is a plant that is native to Oregon, and it wasn't in the world anywhere else until the Oregonians discovered it in 1732 and thought that it tasted like grapes, so they sent it back to the king of England, and he said, "This does not taste like grapes. It tastes disgusting. What are you smoking over there in Oregon?" And they were like, "Well, we smoke tobacco over here." And he was like, "Tobacco, what's that? Sounds good." And so they sent him tobacco, and that's how cigarettes were made and got very popular in England and Europe. And so I just think that's a neat little story to share. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to flip these peppers as best I can. It's pretty tricky to not lose them. I don't think it's a good idea to flip them because it's just too hard. I'm just going to let them cook until they're done here. Going to stir up this asparagus over here. Make sure it's all good. And this here, it's an exotic animal from Madagascar, and oh no, I forgot to take these strings off of it. This, I believe, is called a lemur, and they're native to Madagascar. You can't find them anywhere else in the world. And people say it tastes like chicken. I'm not sure how much I believe that. We're gonna find out, I guess. So just gonna take this string off of it so that it doesn't burn. It's kind of tricky. Hang on. Got to get this off of here. There we go. Nice. All right. Gonna come over here and check our steaks. Looking good. Looking good. I don't want to overcook them, but whoa, crap. That was not supposed to happen. Let's see how well these wild tongs do. All right, that's not bad. It's got some grass on it. Oh well. Somebody's gonna be eating a grassy steak. And grass isn't too bad. Like I said, I ate it a lot when I learned the biology of cows, and it kept me sustained. My friends say that I act different, like they told me to go to a psychiatrist for some reason. I don't know. That was after eating the grass. I just think they're weird. I don't have friends anymore. So, just gonna flip these up. Maybe get them off the heat here. Man, that smoke burns the eyes. Mix up the asparagus. It's getting cooked. These peppers might be done soon. Looking good. I think I'm gonna pull these off here. 1 second. It's time to pull the steaks off to rest. Hang on a second. There we go. Gotta pull them off the rest. They are done and overdone. Not quite overdone, but we wanted them like a medium rare, but they're closer to a less rare. Alright. Pulled the steak out. It's getting rested. We pulled the peppers out. They're kind of burnt, but that's how they're supposed to be. Keep it in mind, we did not put hand sanitizer on the steaks because it doesn't taste good. That's what's left from the asparagus. Gonna clean that up. We have the asparagus cooking over here, and it'll be done soon. I accidentally dropped a few pieces down there. And our lemur here is looking good, just heating it back up. It's pre-cooked in Madagascar before they shipped it over, so it's cooked with all their local seasonings and spices. So that's pretty good. Anyhow, he's here trying the lemur. So, just gonna come over here and clean off the cutting board real quick.
Yum.
It's not hot?
Yeah, that chicken's all hot.
Oh, I'll pull it off then. So the cutting board's cleaned off.
Well,
I'm gonna pull this off, get the lemur off the grill. Somebody just said that it's pretty hot. Just gotta, it's nice that it heated up so fast. I didn't think it would because it's so big. It's almost as big as a chicken, you know. I'm gonna just stick it down right here. These wild tongs that I found are performing much better than I thought they would. Now I'm going to try this asparagus. I can't tell if it's not done yet or if it's overdone. If you look down here, you'll see we have some hickory cooking. The asparagus, so definitely needs some more salt. These peppers. Those are good. Okay. I'm gonna stick that down there. Get our plate. And pull the asparagus off. Hang on, let me try it one more time. Yeah. We're gonna leave it on a minute. Some of it's not quite done. Just gonna pile it up there. Leave it for just a moment. It's gonna be a good meal. We got this lemur here. I'm gonna try it for the first time. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like a rotisserie chicken, you know? That's interesting. I'm gonna stick this back on the grill for a minute because it's not quite as hot as I thought it would be. It really does taste like rotisserie chicken. They must get their rotisserie chicken seasoning from Madagascar because they seasoned it with that. What are you doing, Zach?
Ashes falling all over.
Oh, I thought that was snow. Interesting. Anyhow, these peppers are really good. So good. I gotta stop eating them though, because gotta save it for everybody else. Those peppers are delicious. So delicious. Okay, so here we are. Gonna try the steak here. This is the ribeye, just gonna cut into it a little bit. It's kind of tough to cut. There we go. Gotta get into a smaller piece so I can actually take a bite of it. Okay. That's delicious. That is delicious. The lemur over here is just about done, I believe. It's been on the heat for a couple minutes. Gonna flip it around, let it heat up a little more, and pull off the asparagus. Had to get a new plate for the asparagus because the other one got covered in snow or ash or whatever. Put the asparagus on the plate. Now the asparagus wasn't as well thought out as I think it should have been. Should have probably brought some olive oil or something. Fun fact, olive oil comes from olives. You know when you buy a jar of olives and they come in that oil? That is canola oil, usually, or vegetable oil or something. And the olive flavor seeps into it, and then you, afterwards, after that's done, you can donate the oil from the olive jars to the olive oil factories who turn it into olive oil. And that's where it gets that cool flavor from. The asparagus is good. You want my cameraman try it? He already stole a piece, so he doesn't deserve it anyway. And let's get the lemur. This is gonna be good. It honestly does taste like chicken. I didn't believe that at first, but I do now. Pretty damn good. Alright. There. We got our chicken here, our asparagus, our cooked peppers, which are much better than the raw peppers, this delicious steak here, and some more delicious steak, but it's a little bit less delicious because it's sirloin. If you cook it right though, doesn't matter, it's all really good. Here, cameraman's trying it. Let's get his approval. He's a professional steak taster. He went to school at the Cordon Bleu for 13 years, and he knows a lot about food. In fact, he stopped me from using the mushrooms that I was about to put on because he said that they probably weren't very good because I got them off of a pine tree. I just found them in a pine tree and I thought, these will be good. He said that they might not be good because they were from a pine tree, and you usually get mushrooms from hickory. It's pretty good. Anyway, so steak's good. Everything's done. It's good. So the food is really successful and everybody's enjoying it. The lemur is much better than I thought it was. Charcoal still cooking. That hickory, it gave it a nice flavor.